Increase your letting agency turnover by 100 grand in 5 or 6 weeks. Today I'm joined by Sally Lawson, who is, in my considered opinion, the best letting agency guru and coach in the UK, if not the world.
Thank you, Chris. I love your introductions.
How the hell do agents add 100 grand to their bottom line in 5 or 6 weeks? Talk to me.
You're probably sick of seeing this headline because we talk about this a lot.
It's almost too good to be true.
It is, and I get it. I totally get it. I actually wondered whether we need to lie on our advertising and say add 20k or something to make it more feasible. But you really can add 100k. The average letting agency anyway can add 100k. So here's the caveat.
What would the average letting agent look like in terms of
the average letting agency would be turning over anything between 100 to 300, 400, 500k. That's sort of the lowest sort of level. You can add. If you're at 100k turnover, you should be able to add about 80k. If you're at about 150k turnover, you should be able to add 100k. If you're at £300,000 turnover, you should be able to add 200k. If you're £500,000 turnover, you should be able to add 300k. If you're at £1 million turnover, you should be able to add 500k. So it goes up depending on where you're at, because what we're talking about here is optimizing the business you've already got. It's squeezing the juice.
So it's not even getting new landlords in?
No new landlords, no new business, not even any new services really. This is about squeezing the business you already have and basically just restructuring it for profit. Because most letting agents, we just, we just copied everybody else. We didn't really work out how much time.
Take the house on, we'll charge them 8% and 10%.
But then what we started doing is all this stuff for free. And so I'll give an example. I was with my tenancy management team and they were sitting, we moved offices and they were down here next to me and I heard them talking. And I heard one of my tenancy managers actually doing a snagging list on a 150-bed HMO 150 miles away on a property that one of our landlords had bought and refurbished, but we didn't have an instruction on it. I know, why are you doing that? And that's an example of things that people are doing for free. I found staff going around dropping keys off, 10 miles away because they want to use their own contractor, dropping contracts off because the landlord doesn't want to use the online signable form or whatever the case may be. And these are all things that we do for free. And so if you start to cut out the things that you do for free, the favors, and you actually start to look at what you are doing and work out the hourly rate you should be charging and charge that, it's very simple to squeeze.
But I'm going to lose landlords, aren't I?
No, well, that's the belief. The belief is when you click that button and you send the new terms and conditions with a charge for inspections and a charge for inventories, check-ins, check-outs, deposit registration, you're going to charge the right correctly monthly fee and all those sort of things. When you start charging all that stuff, the belief is everyone's going to leave. But we'd like to know what the stats are.
Go on.
1% of your landlords will complain. And you know exactly who that's going to be before you send the letter.
Is this a case of not even increasing the percent? Let's assume you're on 10%, which is fair. It's not a case of increasing the 10%. I know you might ultimately want to get to 12. It's about cutting out all the free stuff and saying, right, this is our new menu of lists.
Yeah, all of our services. Now, for some people, it is about increasing the margin. So, for example, there's some people that are charging 6 and 7%.
It's too low.
It's too low. So for some people, yes. If you're already charging 10, 12%, it's a no. Then you're going to be focusing on your additional services, your side sales, your upsells, adding a VIP level, making sure you're charging overseas landlords because they're more complex, making sure you're charging housing benefit like tenants, landlords of housing benefit tenants, making sure you're charging HMOs more and charging for the HMO element of that. It's basically about looking at your services and saying, right, what do we do and how can we charge for that, and making sure that you're charging the right amount. And then basically, very simply, one letter can add you 5, 6 numbers.
So you create a new terms of agreement. Mm-hmm. Is there a good or bad day to send that out on?
Everybody sends it Friday at 5. I'm not saying that's a good day, but everybody sends it Friday at 5. Yeah.
And 1% come back and complain.
1% will come back and complain. And it is always the landlord that you're most scared of. So that landlord that you think, oh, he'll never accept it, he is the one that's going to complain. So what we always say is break your list down into sections, send it out to the ones that are more palatable first, and then leave the fighty ones till the end. But about 1% will come back. In some cases, nobody comes back. In fact, quite a lot of them get, I'm surprised you haven't done this sooner. Thank you so much. You do a great service. It's amazing.
Comes down to belief then, doesn't it?
It is belief. It's scary as hell. It's scary.
It's the mindset of the agent.
It is.
That's how you get you know, the extra 100K.
And what some people do is they don't just go and send the terms and conditions. They do a bit of a fee increase here. They send out a letter there, and then they do the terms and conditions on the new lets and then on the relet. You can do it any which way you want, but if you want to do it in 5 weeks, you've got to send that button.
Sounds so simple.
It does, but there's a lot of fear between here and there, Chris. That's where it comes to when you're amongst people that have done this, it takes away that fear. When you're just doing it on your own, it feels really scary. But when you're in a room, in a community, or you know people that have done this,
because you have your mastermind and your Rainmaker series, your boot camps. A lot of the people in that room are existing agents that have been there and done it. And if you've heard someone else do it,
well, that's where the belief comes from. You're sitting in a room and 20, I mean, for give you an example, our mastermind last month, we had 55 members. 100 of them have already added 100K. And 20 of them have already added 500K, and 15 had added like 500,000. It was just crazy. It was just like, there's only 5 that hadn't hit the 100K, but then it just joined. And when you're in a room like that, it's like, it's not a, what is this going to work? It's not going to work.
If everyone's doing it in the room and they say this works,
you just feel like an idiot for not doing it.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Please do check Sally out in her Rainmaker boot camps and masterminds. As I said, she's not been paid. I've not been paid to say that, but I've known Sally and her team for years and years. And what they say is, if you're prepared to change and go through that fear, then do check them out. Thank you for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you.